Good afternoon and welcome to Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network. Monday, March 5th. Frank Granito in studio alongside John Kovac. Kevin Coleman will join me later on as we get ready to put a wrap on the 2017-2018 winter season in the FCAC Final Championships being played over the weekend. Congratulations again to the Ridgefield Tigers winning their second consecutive FCAC championship in boys ice hockey. First team to do that since they did it themselves as a program back in 2012-2013. John Kovac was at the Dorothy Hamill skating ring with me on Saturday afternoon to witness the victory. And it was a Ridgefield team who, John, as we've said so many times throughout the year, just makes very few mistakes and does not give you opportunities to get the better of them.
They make very few mistakes. They force you into mistakes, and they were able to overcome the few mistakes that they made. I thought Ridgefield played an excellent game, obviously. Shut down a lot of... Greenwich got the rushes. They just never finished the rushes. Some of that was physical play. You had big checks at center ice. You had guys riding the play off into the boards. Really a hard-hitting game. Great skating by both sides, and Ridgefield just had that little bit extra at the end.
And you know, this game really, all the storylines started for it back at the start of the year. Greenwich, a popular pick by many to win the conference, but the Tigers coming off that FCAC and state championship, maybe not getting, well, clearly not getting the respect that they deserved. Fast forward to Friday now. We have the big storm around the state. Saturday morning we wake up, we find out there's no power at the Darien Ice House. The conference facing relocating this championship for the second time in the past week. They talked about possibly delaying until 6:30 Sunday night at Darien. Instead, Greenwich says they can host at Dorothy Hamill. They get the ice for 6:45, and now for the second time in as many playoff games, Ridgefield, despite being the number 2 seed in this tournament, playing a true road game in the conference tournament.
Right, when they played, and you could make the argument it wasn't fair, but it was allegedly a neutral site game when Ridgefield played Darien. Even though Ridgefield was the higher seed, that was moved to Darien Ice House, which is obviously Darien's home ice. So you could make that argument there. But here you had the 1 seed with true home ice advantage and with a packed crowd because you had the Greenwich girls playing in a state game immediately before the FCAC boys final.
Yeah, a busy day at the Dorothy Hamill skating rink, and unfortunately not the results either Greenwich team wouldn't want. We'll get to the girls later on. But let's break down this game a little bit more. We're going to look at the highlights now from Ridgefield's 6-4 victory Saturday on the HAN Network.
Up ahead, Moshian's got a little space, got around Van Weest over to Lawrence, who scores! As Forrest back out in front, they score! Irving up ahead with it, trying to connect with McSpedden. He got it the second time around, over for Garlick, he shoots and scores! The big defenseman Santry, who is usually in front of the net, able to get a hold of that one, they score! Forrest in to collect. Absorbing a check from Pelletier Martinelli, and they score! Leaves for Bager, who lets the wrister go. Deflected off Galloway, they score! 20 seconds to go in the period. Van Wees to Galloway in the slot. Forrest. Back towards Conan in front, Walker who scores!
Walker comes in from the left side of the offense and just waits for the pass to land on his stick.
Behind the net, Conan out for Forrest, he scores!
Just a slow shot through the 5-hole, and it's a 2-goal lead.
In to help Davey, comes to Kovalev. And now it's Pelletier Martinelli. Back for Kovalev. Wrist shot, scores! Pinching in is Galloway. Holds the line. Slowed down by Conan, and now Walker's got it with under 90 seconds to go. Cullinan around the net, hesitating, shooting, another save. Nash, it's loose in front. Forrest scores! Watch it. The clock strikes 0. The Richfield Tigers are your FCAC champions.
I feel like I just saw this, Frank.
John, the big takeaway for me when you look at this game, the top line for Richfield. You had Forrest, the MVP, picking up 5 points. Cullinan had 4 assists. Walker had 3 points, including 2 goals. Forrest had 2 goals, 3 assists. That top line beyond produced in both games in this tournament.
No question. And Cullinan, maybe he wasn't in the box often. He made things happen. If you were to give a 3rd assist.
Oh, he had 4, so he's clearly in the box score.
Yeah.
The other side, the big takeaway is on the other side, obviously, JT Lawrence scoring the first goal of the game off that top line for Greenwich. But after that, they're held in check.
Yeah.
It's the next line, Davey and Kovalev, that picked up goals. Colombo off the defense would score a goal as well. You got a guy like Alex Mojian for the Greenwich Cardinals on the top line. Not enough credit is going to be given in a 6-4 game to the Richfield defense, who kept him in check. Do not allow him to score, be the game breaker that we know him to be.
Well, and somebody had to pick up some slack there, because as the game wore on, more and more you saw 2 Ridgefield defenders converge on Mosian as he crossed the Ridgefield blue line. Somebody should have been open someplace to convert a pass from him, and we didn't see enough of that for Greenwich to take the title.
And obviously, a lot of importance put on that, and, you know, it's no knock on Alex Mojian. This is a very, very good Ridgefield team, and he didn't play poorly.
No.
He just ultimately, at the end of the game, didn't come up the way the Cardinals probably needed him to come up for them to win this one.
This was a well-played game between 2 supremely skilled teams that was worthy of a championship. It's just Ridgefield was a little bit better, and a lot of that was with their top line. And a lot of attempts by Greenwich were shut down. A number of them by Liam Galloway just threw the body like nobody's business and relished it. And the other thing that I saw from him, and I thought it was a little bit of redemption, the Greenwich goal that tied it at 3 went off his stick inadvertently in. And then later on in the game, there's another goal that would have tied it for Greenwich, and he gets his stick in there before it crosses the red line and gets it out and saves the game. He had a big game.
He did. And listen, there probably is not a single player on that Tigers roster that you could look at and knock them too much for how they played in that championship game.
Not many on Greenwich you could knock.
You can't. Ridgefield wins their 7th program championship, conference championship in school history. They are 4th all-time. New Canaan with 18, Greenwich 11, Darien 8. Ridgefield's going to be primed for a 3rd in a row next year, John.
They have the right attitude. One of the things that I liked that Liam Galloway said to Kevin Coleman after the game, we heard about last year's team winning. We wanted ours. And that's what you want to hear from your leadership, and you want to hear it every year as those juniors mature into seniors and those sophomores become juniors. It's our turn to win our championship, and that's how Ridgefield approached it.
Well, they've got another championship that they're going to look to win. John, I'm going to have you hang around just for a little bit longer. When we get back, we'll preview the upcoming state tournaments in hockey. Of course, the girls making their way to the semifinals this week. 2 FCX schools remain. We've got all that next on Nutmeg Sports.
Get a fresh start to the new year by shaking up your meal routine. Walter Stewart's Market is your local source for a delicious selection of fresh and convenient salad shakers, like Southwest salad with chicken, Cobb with organic chicken, Power Vegan with fruit and quinoa, Greek salad with tabbouleh, and grilled shrimp with hominy. Grab one from our salad case or order from our deli today. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
At Galt, we always put you first. As your full-service home heating partner, we provide expert delivery, installation, and maintenance for all your heating needs with knowledgeable, friendly professionals that give you peace of mind 24/7. Galt Family Companies, you first since 1863.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care gives you direct access to orthopedic specialists fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care can help. Open 7 days a week now at 3 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue, Norwalk, 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien, or in the Westport Medical Center at 323 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Go to myorthoct.com, like them on Facebook.
Get a fresh start to the new year by shaking up your meal routine. Walter Stewart's Market is your local source for a delicious selection of fresh and convenient salad shakers, like Southwest salad with chicken, Cobb with organic chicken, Power Vegan with fruit and quinoa, Greek salad with tabbouleh, and grilled shrimp with hominy. Grab one from our salad case or order from our deli today. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Back on Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network, Frank Granito alongside John Kovacs. Looking ahead now to the boys ice hockey state tournaments coming up. John, already a couple of games for Wednesday's first round have been moved due to the impact incoming weather that we're going to see here. Greenwich and St. Joe's, the 2:15 matchup, and Northwest Catholic and Simsbury, the 7:10 matchup. Both those games being played Tuesday now. Early reports are that Prep East Catholic, NFI, Notre Dame of Fairfield, West Haven and Xavier, Hamden and New Canaan. Those games, they are going to be played either on Wednesday night or delayed and played on Thursday if the weather is impactful as we think.
What's preferred, move it earlier and the longer layoff?
It really depends. I mean, it's tough because you've already, a lot of these teams that didn't play in their conference championship are going off these long layoffs. Maybe you like to get back out on the ice. There's no guarantee, you know, that everything's going to be able to be played on Thursday, depending how bad this storm is. What happens if an ice rink loses power overnight and they can't get it back by the morning? Could you imagine something like that happening?
Can't say I do.
Yeah. Listen, you've got D3 starting up today. We're both high on this Staples roster. Want to say a big congratulations to Zach Bloom, who was named the D3 goaltender of the year. Staples will start out with Massick. Big game there. I like the Wreckers to be able to roll in Division III. At the bottom, keep an eye on Wilton. The 14 squad has got Tri-Town in the first round. But I do believe this is Staples' bracket to lose, especially if Sam New is healthy.
If he's healthy, if New is healthy, if Bloom plays the game that we saw him play against Fairfield in the playdowns, I think Staples will be fine. D1, I think everybody's playing for the shot to play Fairfield Prep.
That's the one big thing there for Division I now. You know, I think Prep cruises through the first two rounds regardless of who they face in that second game easily. The bottom of their side of the bracket, Notre Dame, West Haven, Darien. Going to be a good game. They played a tight one earlier this year. Darien, we like the way they played in that semifinal game against Ridgefield. I think they're doing a lot of things right now. Have had time to get healthy again, rest up a little bit. I give the Blue Wave a big chance to pull an upset in this game.
It's entirely possible. You have a Notre Dame team that in the Southern Connecticut Conference D1 final fell to that Fairfield Prep team we're talking about 5-0.
They want another shot at Prep.
I'm sure they do.
They've had their chances with them this year, haven't figured it out, but it's a Notre Dame West Haven team that is very, very talented, and I think you could argue at the exception of Prep is as skilled as any team in the state. So there's someone people expect to see at Ignalls. Of course, now you've got Ridgefield and Fairfield. I think the Tigers can take care of business there, no issues. Then Ridgefield, Notre Dame, and West Haven. Ridgefield got the best of Notre Dame the second time around this season. Notre Dame got the best of them the first. Ridgefield, Darien. That's probably a Blue Wave team the Tigers don't want to see right now.
No, that would be a good game. I would buy a ticket to that one.
All right. Bottom of the bracket, I think Greenwich has got things under control with St. Joe's and/or Northwest Catholic and Simsbury in the second one. Obviously, I want to play, a little bit of favorites and really believe that New Canaan has got a chance. We saw them knock off Xavier earlier this year, so we know that if they face them, that could be a good matchup. West Haven has struggled. Hamden, the big concern, you know, what Hamden team is this? We saw them beat New Canaan 12-6 back at the start of the year. But
saw them beat Darien to open the season, open up with wins over Darien and New Canaan. But these are different Darien and New Canaan teams than we saw in the fall.
The bottom of the bracket, I think, is a lot more wide open.
Yeah.
Whereas the top, you know, it's most likely Prep, but then there are going to be 2 teams that are really there with Prep.
The bottom of the bracket, I could almost see another Greenwich New Canaan game when it gets to that point, and that could be interesting.
Could be interesting. You know what? Greenwich has got to beat a St. Joe's team that's not bad. That'll be the 3rd time they beat them this year. So it'll definitely be interesting the way all that shakes out. And, of course, the girls, John, we'll talk more about this tomorrow, but Greenwich losing to Bramford.
Right.
Eliminated in the quarterfinals, so now 2 remaining FCX teams. They're going to face off on Wednesday at the Shelton Rinks. That'll be Darien New Canaan, round 4.
That could be good.
Rams might be without Jess Eccleston.
Oh, that could be.
A little banged up
that
in the
would be
quarterfinals.
big.
We'll talk plenty more about that tomorrow. John, great work today. Great work all hockey season. A lot of fun. You're not quite done yet, but I promise I won't make you stand next to me for 2 hours inside a rink again this year.
I'll miss it. I'm just that many days closer to Greenwich.
Exactly. All right. John's going to step out when we get back. Kevin Coleman joins me. We're going to look back on the basketball championship from Thursday night and recap this entire winter season, our favorite thoughts. That's up next on the HAN Network.
Voted Best Gourmet to Go in Fairfield County, Palmer's extensive menu offers everything you'll need to make your next event easy and delicious. Whether you're hosting a small get-together or planning a large celebration, they've got you covered breakfast through dessert. Order online at palmersdarien.com or call 203-655-2077.
Yeah, Dad.
Kyle, I need you to update the financial statements.
I took care of that yesterday, Dad.
Mac,
I need you to get those deals approved.
They're all done, Mr. Miller.
Jeff, I need you to order lunch for the meeting. They can't do a thing without me.
Right now, lease a 2017 Sentra S for only $97 a month.
I'm never going to retire.
UK Gourmet is the largest specialty grocer in the area, featuring food from England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Over 80 teas to choose from and a brilliant assortment of biscuits to go with them. Over 70 cheeses from grass-fed cows, which makes a smashing difference in taste. The creamiest chocolate you'll ever taste using no artificial colors or preservatives. So say hooray for UK Gourmet, 78 Stony Hill Road in Bethel, or visit ukgourmet.us.
Back on Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network. Happy to welcome in Kevin Coleman now. Kev, is the winter season for the FCAC coming to an end? We're looking back on a lot of our favorite moments. But first, let's break down what we saw Thursday night for the first time in 26 years. The Danbury Hatters, champions in boys basketball. I will give you a chance to become a Hatter Hooter now, just so you can get the full stretch of Route 7 under your belt, if you want it.
I'll happily accept it. What a great win for the Danbury basketball program, for Coach Casey Bach and the entire staff. Congratulations. What a tournament, and that really comes to show for any team, 1 through 8, the seedings get thrown out the window. Whoever's playing the best basketball at the end of February deserves to win the title, and I think Danbury played the best basketball they played all season long down the stretch. Jordan Brown and Denali Burton were absolutely spectacular in this tournament. They were great, obviously, in the championship game. Denali Burton was fantastic. Both players averaging 20 points per game in the tournament, which is absurd. And again, Javon Hernandez did a terrific job running the offense. The defense looked really strong. Deontay Vines put in some great minutes as well. Got to give a shout out to Solomon James getting in there as well. The senior coming back to play with the Hatters this season for the basketball program. Gets himself a little medal there. So Danbury Hatters, great story this year and a well-deserved championship.
All right, you know what? Final score, 75-57. They dominated from the gate in this one. Let's look at the highlights from Thursday's Hoops win for the Hatters.
Trumbull and Coach Buddy Bray, 17-5, 13-5, and it is 3 points for Javon Hernandez to get us started. Another steal here as Burton comes away with it. Vines to Hernandez in the corner. Right back to Deontay Vines. Burton going up strong, and Hernandez tiptoeing half court. Steps around Williams. Snow's in the corner. Hot potato at the moment, and finally Burton finishes inside. Brown at the buzzer, and it's good! 8 points for Jordan Brown in the second quarters. He scored the final 6 for the Hatters. He's got 12 in the game. The lead is 17 now. Jordan Brown's got the rebound. Here comes Burton. He might bring the house down. Oh! Woo! Inside. Snow with the finger roll.
Here it comes.
He's hugging up his seniors. The clock is down to 5 for the first time since 1992. Danbury are the FCX champions in boys basketball.
Huge game from the senior Jordan Brown. Denali Burton, as you mentioned, Javon Hernandez playing so well. It's a Danbury team, Kevin, that we thought underachieved a little bit last year. They were right on the cusp of being very, very good. Had a nice upset of Notre Dame and West Haven in the state tournament. Come back this year, slow start. We saw them on a tough night in Ridgefield. Yeah. But you're right. They played so well down the stretch, put themselves in a position to be successful, and were far and away the best team in the tournament.
And you know what? There were players on this team on the floor Thursday night that were on that Danbury team just 2 years ago that fell to West Hill in the FCI championship game. So there was a little bit of, you know, we want revenge. That this is our turn now. We want to bring home the championship, and they did. And I like how you said right out of the gates they were the much better team than Trumbull. And Trumbull still, they're going to be a fantastic team next year. What a great season they had. Got to give them a lot of credit. What Coach Buddy Bray did with the Eagles program was fantastic this season. Don't hang your heads. You guys will do well in the States as well. But again, next year, 2018, 2019, it's going to be a good Trumbull team.
That's what I was going to say, is don't sleep on them just yet.
Yeah.
Heading into this state tournament. They'll take on the 21st seeded team, Weaver, in Division I. Winner of that will face Wilbur Cross. Trinity Catholic and Danbury both earning first-round byes. They will play in the second round. 11 teams earned a bye. The Division I brackets, the whole thing. But they will play in the second round from Danbury. That's going to be a tough matchup for Danbury there with a very motivated Trinity team coming off that FCX loss. And remember, Trinity a team as well, probably losing earlier than they should have in the FCX last year before running the table to win a state championship.
Right, that's going to be interesting on Wednesday night. If, you know, hopefully a game gets in, obviously with the impending snowstorm coming in, we'll see if that game gets in. But again, at Danbury High School, obviously with a small gym like that, you're going to have the fans on top of you. Danbury loves to play in their home gym. They played so well there. They were undefeated this year at home. So that obviously favors the Hatters. But you're right, this is a Trinity team who felt slighted. They wanted a chance to go to the FCI championship game this year, and what a fantastic semifinal game that was between Danbury and Trinity. Both teams going neck and neck throughout the game. Danbury just able to edge the Crusaders. So you're right. I think Trinity's going to come into this game highly motivated, ready to go against the Hatters. You know, you got Dimitri Moyes and Contavio. Those two are out for revenge. You got, obviously, it's not easy taking care of them down low, not just once, but now you got to face them twice. So it's not going to be easy for the Hatters down low. But Denali Burton did a great job down low defensively on the boards as well against the two big guys. Jordan Brown was a good presence down low in the semifinals. So I think Wednesday night, between those two teams is going to be really close again. But again, Danbury, obviously a little bit of the advantage there being at home.
Yep. Wilton and Norwalk are going to play against each other in the Division II tournament. You're hoping to get down and check out that game. Weather, obviously, a big issue. Of all the teams in Division I, Division II, who do you like out of the FCAC to make the farthest run?
The one team I'm curious about is the team you just mentioned was Wilton. I want to see how they play in the States because considering they were just missed out in the FCI tournament, I want to see how motivated the senior group is. I want to see if they can, collect themselves and say, hey, that was unacceptable. We have to do better here. This is it for us. Lose and we're out. They're going up against a good Norwalk team who just a week ago was in the Z House and played extremely well, just falling short against Trumbull. But again, a good tournament for Norwalk. Tommy Keys did a terrific job with this crew. This is another Norwalk team who can make a run in state. So tomorrow night is going to be a tough battle for Wilton, but that's the team I want to see be motivated. I want the seniors to come out. I want Brancato to kind of take over here and say, boys, let's go. Scott Cunningham's got to get going. He's been slumping in the month of February. So I want to see the senior group for the Wilton Warriors get motivated for the state tournament.
I do want to offer a congratulations to AJ Kovacs of the Danbury Wrestling Squad and Edners de Jesus of the Greenwich Gymnastics team. Kovacs helping Danbury win a state open championship. He won state open himself at 145. And de Jesus winning every event, scoring a perfect 10 on the vault, helped lead the Cardinals to the Class L championship. Oh, she would go ahead and help lead them to a state open title this past weekend. They are our final winners in the winter season Athlete of the Week ballot. So congratulations to both of them. We'll have plenty more coming up in the spring. Kev, we got a couple of minutes left here. Obviously, the next few days we're going to be focused in on the state tournaments, previewing those matchups. But you look back on this FCAC winter season, some of your favorite memories.
Oh,
here we go.
I came prepared, my friend. Yeah, you guys were talking hockey, and I was getting ready. Big win for the Tigers this week on Saturday night. Big win against the Greenwich Cardinals. So the Tigers, back-to-back champs. Big moment there. Shout out to the Tigers layer. Bring the noise Saturday night.
He's a hockey fan now. Here we go. What do you have anything to say for the Ridgefield basketball team? I really loved when we got to go up to Bridgeport Central for that boys hoop game a couple weeks ago. It was a lot of fun being up there. Really good atmosphere in the gym. The Central Stanford matchup was a lot of fun. Because I am a hockey purist, all the girls' hockey games we saw this year. We had 4 of them on the network. New Canaan, Darien 2 times, New Canaan, Greenwich once, Darien, Greenwich. Those 3 teams just played so well against each other all year long. The FCAC semifinal game between New Canaan and Darien was a blast to be a part of. Nearly 2 full overtimes before we found a winner. Right. Then the championship game, Greenwich again proving that they have enough and finding a way to win a second consecutive FCAC championship. They fall short in the state quarterfinals here, but we're going to have Darien, New Canaan again at some point this week, and one of them will be looking to play for a state championship and represent the FCAC. They don't get enough credit. They're not recognized by the CIAC, but those girls played some of the best hockey that we saw in my 2 years now with the HA Network, and it was a blast to get to watch it.
Yeah, girls hockey crushed it this year. I also want to, how about the Winter Classic was a great moment
right.
as well.
You
got to give a shout out to Coach Rurik, Coach Lurcha, and the rest of the crew at the Greenwich Skating Club. That was an awesome day. The girls game when it snowed, and then of course the perfect backdrop. Just the whole day itself. You can't write it again. It was a perfect day for hockey, outdoor hockey. It was an awesome day. And again, I think you look back at last year's quarterfinals for boys basketball. That Saturday, that Super Saturday is always fun. And Coach Gariak did a great job doing the color. I thought he did great.
Yeah, you better be careful.
I do have to watch my job.
You were pretty good on the play-by-play, so maybe I'm the one who's got to be nervous here. Listen, it was a lot of fun. We'll take a day at some point in the next few weeks before we get out there for the spring tour, and we'll really look back, pick some of our favorite highlights, get everyone's thoughts on the winter season. But always a blast. We want to wish everyone competing in state tournaments best of luck. And for Kevin Coleman, I'm Frank Granito. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network.